Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Credit Card Madness 2025. Last go around saw us setting up the Sweet 16, so this episode we're going to set up our Elite 8 by going through your votes, seeing who you voted on to the next round and who's going home. So of course, if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and press the subscribe button and let's get to work. Now, as always, our quick preamble here, Credit Card Madness is the channel's annual credit card tournament, as the name implies, largely based on March Madness, the college basketball tournament, where we take some of the best credit cards in the game, pit them against each other, single elimination until there's only one champion left, one cashback side, one travel side. They meet in the middle to decide who is the king of credit cards for the year. The best part of it is it's all decided by you, the viewers at home, and we will cover all of that in the voting section at the end of this. As we said last time, was the Sweet 16. We've gone through qualifying, where you pick the cards in the tournament. Sweet 16 matchup. Now we're here to set up the Elite 8. Of course, if you missed out on any of this, there is a full playlist building out on the channel's main page under the Credit Card Madness section. So, without further ado, you had a few matchups to pick. We will go through the bracket. We'll put it on screen for you so you can refresh yourself very quickly if you missed out. But here's how your Sweet 16 played out. Again, a lot of fan favorites, a lot of really strong matchups on both sides of the house, I should say. So a lot of tough votes to be had here. Of course, I will tell you how I voted at the end of this, but let's not preamble any longer. We will start on the cashback region with our number 1 versus 8 matchup, and you know, City Custom Cash still reigns supreme. It was the cashback, it made it very far in the cashback tournament last year. This year it's going on to move on to the Elite 8 with 69.9% of the vote. My precious AAA card goes home, but good for it, making the tournament nonetheless. Now, the next matchup we had saw the Freedom Flex as a 2 seed versus its brother, the Freedom Unlimited. Little brother, no match. Actually, big brother, no match. The Freedom Unlimited is older, but the Freedom Flex prevails with 78.2% of the vote, moving on to the next round. Now, the third matchup saw Capital One versus Discover. They're lock-in a merger right now, which is interesting, but there you go. Capital One advances again. This was last year's cashback champion. I was 74.1% of the vote, still going strong. And our last matchup for cashback number 4 was a very interesting one, given the rumor mill this past week, with the Chase Amazon card is going home, defeated by the Smartly card by the slimmest of margins, but is our first upset, 51.9% of the vote. Smartly advances. Now, jumping over to the travel side, where we see the defending champion Venture X versus the Hilton Aspire card at the 8th seed. Much closer, much closer than you would think, but the champion still advances with a definitive win with 59.7% of the vote. Now, the second matchup in travel sees Chase back in the ring versus the Built Rewards card. There you go, still pretty close given the matchup disparities there, but Chase advances 56.9% of the vote. Now, a matchup we were all very interested to see, number 3, the American Express Platinum card, who's actually never won a tournament before, versus the City Strata Premier card. City pulls it out, advancing 53.7% of the vote. Very nice on City there. And of course, the last matchup in the travel region, you're looking at Chase and MX again. This time around, Chase pulls it out, 57.4% of the vote, just like that. Those are your matchups, how you voted, who's in, who's out. So, there you go. I will briefly scroll the results on screen just so you know, showing the receipts or it didn't count. I believe at the time of taping there was about 222-ish votes, give or take. So overall, not too bad. Great turnout overall. 2 upsets, more or less upsets, you could say. I mean, when you get into the 4 versus 5, for example, right, that's not really a huge upset because they're pretty evenly matched. Last year's Amazon Prime card, I did believe, moved on to the next round. Smartly, though, really good card. I like it. You know, it's going to be really interesting to see how it goes into the next round in the Elite 8, given, you know, if you watch the Sunday show with all of the Smartly rumors and everything, with that card no longer being able to take applications and branch by bankers. Will it be discontinued? Will it won't? How will that affect it going forward? I don't know. I did vote for Smartly as well. And then the only other upset we did have was City. I think it's well deserved from the City Strata card. The City Premier, the old version of this, was always a really good card. It just lacked a lot of those travel assurances. It was a World Elite card in name only, but now, you know, it is worthy of the MasterCard World Elite logo. So a fair trial there. The rest of it, as you can imagine how I voted, I did vote for the AAA card on the cashback side. I think that's the only spot where we differed at, really. And the reason I voted for the AAA card is I do believe the AAA card does something that no other cashback card does. It's 5% back on groceries up to like 10 grand and spend a year for free, whereas the custom cash is a really good card, and I have 2 of them. I just can't recommend the custom cash to everyone. You got to have 5, 6, 7 cards before the custom cash starts to make more sense. The AAA card I can recommend to everyone. Didn't think the AAA card had a chance, but that's why I voted AAA. I think I voted with you guys on the travel. I think everyone who voted, that's who I voted as well. So overall, not too bad. We're fairly in alignment overall, which is good. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts. What's your thought of the upsets? Who are you mad about? Who's in, who's out? That kind of thing down below. So we will now queue up the next round. I'll show you the matchups that we had, and we'll talk about voting for the Elite Eight. Because again, you can start participating at any time and wheel your favorite cards on to victory, or keep the cards you hate from winning. However you want to look at it. So bring back our music and we will talk about our matchups. This time we've got 2 on each side. So our first matchup is going to see the number 1 seed City Custom Cash versus that US Bank Smartly card. That is going to be a tough matchup. As we said, very interesting given the rumors right now. The second matchup is going to be the Chase Freedom Flex versus the Capital One Saver Rewards. This is an exact rematch of last year's tournament as well. So see if anything's changed on that front. Again, the categories for Chase just came out this past weekend as well. Maybe that influences folks. Be interesting to see. Now on the travel side of this house, we have 2 titans of industry, if you will, the defending champion, 2-time defending champion, Capital One Venture X card versus the old guard. You know, it's funny because these 2 cards changed the game in their own respective ways. When the Sapphire Reserve came out, and then later the Venture X kind of supplanted it. But Chase still trying to show that an old dog may have some fight in it still at the 5 seed. And the last one sees another Chase card, the number 2 Sapphire Preferred versus the City Strata Premier, which is a really good matchup. 2 $95 annual fee cards. Both bring a lot to the table. One a little stronger in insurances. The credit's a little bit easier to use. The City card a little bit stronger in the multipliers there. Really good matchup overall as well. So if we flip to the bracket now, here's what we're looking like at the Elite Eight. You can take a look at that. Who's matching up, who's going to be in, who's going to be out overall. And I do like to compare this to 2024 just for the fun of it, to see how it's shaping up. And you can see really there's not too much difference between 2025 and 2024. Again, the 2 versus 3 on cashback is the same. The 1 seed on cashback is the same as well. And over on the Elite Eight, again, this time the gold card did not make it, which is interesting. And on the bottom, they were in a little bit different spots, but overall, major players still the same. So there you have it. That is the Elite 8 round. I kind of covered it a little bit, but my thoughts, yeah, I think the Smartly thing is going to be huge. I feel like that card picked up some momentum, and now what is going to happen to the momentum given that news story? The scandal could not have come at a worse time for one of my favorite cards in the game. So it's going to be tough to see how that one plays out. But either way, if you want to vote, no matter how you are swayed or unswayed by the rumors, well, then there will be a Google form link down below for you. You do have to sign into your Google account. I tell the story every time, but I don't get your email address. You can email me if you want, but years ago when we first played this game, someone did vote, like wrote a script and just kept pounding the ballot box. That's why you have to log in now to protect the integrity of the tournament. So it'll be one link. Just like last time, a cashback section, then I'll go right into the travel section. Just pick whichever card you want to win, however you want to vote is fine. And then right back here next Tuesday, where we will recap the Elite Eight and set up the Final Four as we get even closer to crowning a champion. So I hope you're here for all of it, because it is generally fun. Again, these matchups have been really good this year, despite, somewhat similar to last year, but there's just enough differentiation, just enough going on in the news to give us a little bit of extra juice, in my opinion. So there you have it. That is everything you need to know for the next round of the tournament. Of course, if you like this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel, as we were posting content just like this every single week. Of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And of course, every single day over on profitablecontent.com. The channel's blog, which is always linked down below for you, as well as the channel homepage. So, we've got the latest news stories. So if you want to stay up to date on all the scandal and news stories affecting the tournament, we've got that over there. We, of course, have credit card promotions. So if one of these catches your eye, there's a good chance we have a link. And, of course, we have bank account promotions. If you're going to pillage them for credit card points, you might as well get their cash back as well. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.